Hello, 6th grade. Today we're going to go over the summary notes for prime factorization. Prime factorization is expressing a number as a product of prime numbers. There are two methods that you can choose to use. The first one is the ladder method, very similar to GCF and LCM, except we're just dealing with one number at a time. So when we do this, the first step is to start with the lowest prime number, which is 2. So does 2 go into 24, or is 2 a factor of 24 if we're looking at the factorization of 24? And yes, it does. So I pull out my 2 over here on the left-hand side. 2 times 12 gives us 24. So then we stick with 2 and say, is 2 a factor of 12? Yes, it is. So I factor out this 2. Then 2 is times 6 gives me 12. Next one, is 2 a factor of 6? Yes, it is. So therefore I factor out the 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Is 2 a factor of 3? No. So I now go to the next prime number, which is 3. Is 3 a factor of 3? Yes. So therefore I factor out the 3, and 3 times 1. So now I'm done factoring out my prime numbers, and those prime numbers are the ones on the left-hand side. Okay, so these are all of my prime numbers over here. So I have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Or I can express it using an exponent. Because I have 2 times 2 times 2, I have 2 to the third power times 3. Let's try one together. We are going to find the prime factorization of 36. So I'm going to write 36 down. Okay. And I'm going to start with my smallest prime number. Is 2 a factor of 36? And the answer is yes. In this case, unlike the GCF and LCM, you have to start with the lowest prime number. So I'm factoring out a 2, and we have 2 times 18. Then is 2 a factor of 18? Yes. So I factor out another 2. 2 times 9 is 18. Is 2 a factor of 9? No. So I go to the next prime number, which is 3. Is 3 a factor of 9? The answer is yes. So I factor out a 3. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9. Is 3 a factor of 3? Yes again. So I pull out another 3. And then I get 1 at the bottom. Now I know that I'm done. So the factors I have are 3, 3, 2, 2. So I'm going to write that as a product. So it's going to be 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And I could also express that I have 2 2's, so 2 squared times 3 squared. Now you might have more than 2's and 3's. You might have to go to 5 or 7 or 11. Okay, but you're going to start off with your smallest of your prime numbers. The next method is the tree method. This might work better if your numbers are larger and maybe you're not as comfortable dividing things by 2, because this gives you a little bit more flexibility. The tree method, you're going to start off and you're going to choose any 2 factors. So I showed 2 ways for this example. The first way, the 2 factors of 24 were 2 and 12. When you have a number that is prime, you're going to circle it. That means that branch of the tree is done. So I go over to my 12. My 12 is not a prime number. So I could choose any 2 factors multiplied together to give me 12. In this case, we chose 3 and 4. You could have chosen 2 and 6. It doesn't matter. So the 3 here is prime, so it's circled. The 4 is not prime. So now what 2 numbers give us multiplied together give us 4, 2, and 2. So then you have your numbers listed over here, all the ones that are circled. 2 times 2 times 3, 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And you always can check to make sure that you're right. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 24. Here is another example of how it's done a little differently. We have 6 and 4 as my factors. Neither one is prime, so therefore I am not circling them. So 6 is 2 times 3. 2 and 3 are both prime. 4, I draw 2 branches off, and I have 2 and 2. Those are also prime. I still get the same answer. I still get 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And again, I can express this as 2 to the third times 3. So let's try this with 36. We'll do it a couple different ways just so you could see. 36, when I look at 36, 6 times 6 comes to mind immediately. So I'm going to do that. Neither one is prime. So I'm going to make branches off of both of them. What makes 6? Well, 2 times 3. What makes 6? Again, 2 times 3. Each one of these is prime, so I'm going to do that so I know my eyes kind of go back to it. Then I write it from least to greatest. 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And again, I can write this as, let me just move this a little bit, it's like a little more space. I can write this as 2 to the second power times 3 to the second power, or 2 squared times 3 squared. Now, I could have chosen something different. 36, maybe my brain says 9 and 4. Okay, neither one is prime. So therefore, 9 becomes 3 times 3. Those are prime, so I'm going to circle them. And 4 becomes 2 times 2. Those are prime. And again, I still get 2 times 2 times 3 times 3, or 2 squared times 3 squared.